Well, that's our laughter yoga session for the week. It was wonderful. I'm glad we got up at 4 a.m. to do this.
Yes, it's really
remarkable.
It's really perked up the old. And I'm not going to finish that sentence.
It's a real thing, right? Laughter yoga.
Oh, yeah. Everything yoga is a real thing. Like, if you can think of something that you can do whilst also doing yoga, it's been done and been marketed to trendy people. And if you can think of something that you can't do while also doing yoga, that's probably also been done and marketed to trendy people.
Okay, potato farming yoga.
Probably.
Saucepan yoga.
I can see it.
Reader's Digest yoga.
Definitely.
Hentai yoga.
Oh, well, I mean, Bikram already pioneered abuse yoga, so I guess that's just a branch of that.
Commentary. Yoga commentary. Did you expect this?
Did you
when
expect
you put on
to call out Bikram for being an abuser?
When you put on
Did you?
the big damn cast, PS, hi, pop culture, did you expect some yoga commentary?
Did you expect this?
Open wide, folks. Daddies have made you your favourite. Hi, welcome to Big Dumb Cast, Nerd News, Geeky Gossip, stuff. That fucking trailer. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
That fucking trailer.
I am Chris, be careful what you wish for, Parker Johnson.
I am Matt. Hello, Peter. Watson.
Did you see Brock Baker's version of that?
No.
It's everything you'd expect it to be from a guy who can do a pitch-perfect Patrick Warburton impression.
Brilliant.
It's just that moment played out in full.
Brilliant.
Before the inevitable, hey, Peter. Yeah, so, bastard Spider-Man. We'll talk about Spider. We're also going to talk about What If, Episode 3, spoilers.
3.
But first... The Midnight Suns.
The Midnight Suns have risen.
Yes, Werewolf by Night, Morbius, Doctor Strange, The Ghost Rider. Well, it's funny you should say because Marvel Television / Disney Plus are currently looking to cast a young 20-something Mexican actor for a horror project for Marvel Studios.
Ooh.
Leading some to believe that considering there is a legacy version of this character now, we're getting a Werewolf by Night program or special either next October or the following year.
It would sort of tie in with the fact that we're doing fucking Moon Knight.
True.
Famous werewolf hunter and also mercenary Moon. But they've kind of eased off on the sort of werewolf hunter aspect of him, haven't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they've lent more into the... He's Egyptian, maybe?
I
don't know. He's insane. He is the wild and crazy guy.
Yes.
But yeah, so that'd be interesting. And I wonder if whether or not they're doing that because A, you know, we need more diverse representation on screen. So if you're going to like do Werewolf by Night, absolutely go for the second incarnation of the character who is not just a white dude. And B, because the white dude's name is Jack Russell. So...
Yes!
But
cowards! Cowards, give us Jack Russell!
But take the O out of Midnight Suns and replace it with a U. And you've got the game announced at Gamescom last week for a March release.
Are you going to put the O into Jack Russell so it's Jack or Russell and make him Irish?
Maybe that's the way around it. See, did you get it? It's a pun because it's kind of like a dog's name.
From one stereotype to another.
But yeah, Midnight Suns is a turn-based RPG coming from 2K and the guys behind XCOM. And
Axis.
It's got a story trailer out, and there is some gameplay discussion out there from journos who were at Gamescom or were handed copies. So far, it sounds like the most. It sounds like a hybrid of a Final Fantasy, sort of classic Final Fantasy game, or along the lines like 7 Remake, for example, with Marvel Ultimate Alliance, because you have hub worlds, you have like bases where you can interact with and develop your relationship with your characters.
You're probably thinking more of Final Fantasy Tactics.
That's what I mean.
Final Fantasy Tic Tacs.
Final Fantasy... insert name of other random sweet or chocolate thing from the 90s here.
Final Fantasy Tactics, Fire Emblem, XCOM, obviously.
No, I was thinking Final Fantasy Twiglets,
Ogre.
Final Fantasy Matchmakers. Were
Ogre
they
Battle.
matchmakers? Is that what they were called?
You can still get matchmakers.
Ah.
They're thoroughly disappointing.
What was the one that came out in the 2000s? It was a Pringle, but it was chocolate, basically. So it wasn't a crisp.
They're still around. What are they called?
Cadbury Snaps.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they're still around. I haven't seen one for a while. I don't go looking for them because they're shit.
It's a crisp, but it's not a crisp, but it's chocolate.
It's a crisp, but it's chocolate. It's a snack food revolution.
Now pizza can have a barbecue base as an option. What is this world we're living in? I don't like it,
I had a
Matthew.
barbecue-based pizza last night. It was fucking glorious.
Do you know what? Barbecue-based pizza with some kind of chicken topping is pretty beautiful.
It is pretty beautiful.
It's pretty beautiful.
Put it in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth. Too old for this shit. Put it in your mouth. Daddy Glover is. Put it in your mouth.
Daddy lover.
Yeah. I'm changing it up.
Daddy's got a brand new bag.
Terrible.
Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns.
It's XCOM. It's Marvel XCOM.
Well,
But
the
it's not
devs have
aliens.
made a big point of saying it's not the XCOM formula, and don't think that we're just doing the same thing in a different skin. Yet the description of the game is very similar in terms of its structure. But reasons to be intrigued. Our big bad is Lilith, who is a sort of mystical Midnight Suns Ghost Rider-y kind of antagonist.
They're leaning into the mystical, magic-y side of the Marvel universe with this.
Yeah.
Obviously,
our lead character is a new character, her daughter, known as the Hunter, who is resurrected by Strange and Co. to take part in stopping this invasion or, possession of the Earth or whatever it's
Strange
going to be.
and Nico, in fact, Nico Minoru from the Runaways.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, I mean, let's touch on the lineup, because the lineup is pretty damn swish. Doctor Strange, Nico, Magic, and Wolverine representing the X universe of Marvel characters. It's also just nice to see Wolverine back in a video game.
Yeah.
I hate played for stream Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite finally.
Ooh.
And it wouldn't have fixed the game, but him not being in it was a giant hole for that series. It was so weird for Wolverine to not be in a Marvel vs. Capcom game. Oh, it's bizarre. And even in the DLC, we didn't touch the DLC, but there were 5 characters locked behind DLC, and he was not one of them. Yeah, what is the point?
You know why? You know why they didn't do it.
It was 2017, and there was that whole, we don't want to give Fox the Lego. Despite the fact that Deadpool was the most popular addition to the previous entry in the series.
Deadpool's always a popular addition. You put
but this is
anything.
But this is 2011, so there wasn't the oversaturation.
I don't know. There's been an oversaturation of Deadpool for a long time now.
It was also the first time the second time Nolan North voiced him, so it was like, oh, this is good.
I'm starting to get Deadpool fatigue.
Don't
And he's
say
not
that.
even had a movie out for 3 years,
Man,
4 years, 7 years,
He's behind
12
you.
years. Oh, fuck off, Deadpool.
He's right behind
Stop
you.
breathing down my neck, you weird fucking...
He's sat next to Tobey Maguire, just
sweaty
chilling
bastard.
on the shelf.
Don't chill next to Tobey Maguire, you motherfucker.
Tobey Maguire's got to be doing something. We don't know what else he's been up to.
Oh, no. No idea.
So yeah, you've got Magic and Wolverine. From the Avengers, you've got Iron Man and Captain America. You've also got Captain Marvel thrown into the mix. And from the Midnight Suns lineup, you've got Ghost Rider and Blade.
Although I don't think this Ghost Rider's ever been on a Midnight Suns.
No, but I also like the fact that they've not gone for Johnny Blaze and they've decided to mix it up, and we've got Robbie Reyes.
Oh, no one knows what the fuck Johnny Blaze is, but Roy Reyes has been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so at least some casual...
I'm sorry. Did you just claim that something that's been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. means that people know what it is?
More people have watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than have ever read a fucking Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider book.
Yeah, but more people have...
More
people have definitely used the he's knocking at the door meme than have watched anything Ghost Rider related.
That's true. There was those 2 movies. Mind you, I just forgot about those 2 movies, so that's true. I've seen them both, and that tells you how memorable they are.
I forgot that Spirit of Vengeance was a thing because I never saw it.
Spirit of Vengeance is great. It's way better than the first one.
It's
not very good.
Idris Elba's in that, right?
Yeah.
Anthony Head's in that, right?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I'm going to have to give it a go.
Kieran Hines in that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because he takes over the devil, in air quotes, from Peter Fonda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Peter Fonda just went, I'm not doing that again?
Probably.
I'm not doing that
I mean,
again.
that's probably exactly what happened.
It was shit. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, probably.
They're like, Kieran Hines, do you want to be a subpar villain in a pretty bad comic book movie?
Alright.
Sure, may as well start this trend now.
Not doing anything else.
Can I keep pining for Mother? No, why would you want to do that? No reason. One day
like
they'll let me say that in a film.
One day, mother.
And then they'll let me say it again.
Yeah, So
do you think they recorded any lines for him for the Snyder cut?
possibly.
Or do you think they just?
We don't know how much was on the cutting room. I
true.
doubt it because so much of that was clearly stuff that was going to be cut out anyway.
Yeah, true.
Or had been cut out already.
True.
Like it's like I say, I like the Snyder cut for what it is, and I enjoy it a lot more than the theatrical cut. But it's definitely like that would have been a really like tight 3 hours maybe. Which is weird saying something's gonna be a tight 3 hours, but look at the Lord of the Rings films. Like,
I mean, Endgame. Fucking
yeah,
hell. Like, that flies by and doesn't feel like it wastes any time.
So,
and also doesn't feel like you've got a numb ass by the end of it.
I think they could have quite comfortably, with a couple of little tweaks and reshoots, cut an hour out of the Snyder cut and had a decent theatrical cut. But selling a 3-hour movie to cinemas is a bigger ask nowadays.
And giving the Snyder Cut movement people any less than 4 hours would have started a riot.
Well, not
because
even,
they will never
will
never be satiated.
Even before he left the project, I mean.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
This was going to be, like, you can definitely tell that he could have, like, with a couple of little tweaks, he could have cut this down to a 3-hour movie and it'd been pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Well, they wouldn't have taken that risk back then, would they?
No.
I mean, they already went like, hey, that 2-part movie making? Yeah. It's going to be one movie now.
And you're gonna,
deal with it.
And it's going to be 2 hours long. It's like, fuck you.
There was a David Caruso. Fuck you. So, yeah, Robbie Reyes, no sign of his car in the trailer. Robbie Reyes' car, but I hope it's in there.
He'll be back.
Adding greater numbers.
What if... What if he's ghost riding the dog?
Charlie.
The skin dog.
They revealed it's called Charlie.
The skin dog. Charlie the skin dog.
Charlie the skin dog.
It could do like the...
Charlie the skinless hound.
Like the Avengers 10,000 BC that Jason Aaron does in his Avengers run, where the Ghost Rider is riding a mammoth.
Oh, yes, of course.
They could do that.
So they... they've confirmed that the game is sort of its own little universe, because of course there's that many Marvel games out there now that people are going, so is it connected to this one, is it connected to that one? They've gone, nope, it's its own thing.
Connected to my middle finger.
Which I think is their way of going, please don't associate us with the Square Enix Avengers game, please. Like, even Square Enix, the team who've worked on the Guardians of the Galaxy game, have gone, oh no, this game's set in its own thing, it's nothing to do with Avengers.
It's its own thing.
Please don't associate with Avengers. And I'm like, do you know what? If that's how you want to do it going forward for every Marvel game, good.
That's fine by me.
Honestly, fine by me, motherfuckers.
What, are you not at the Avengers Defender on Twitter?
Fucking hell.
We're not talking about that game.
No.
Let's move on.
Also, it means that, one day Insomniac can actually just be like, oh, here's the Marvel Spider-Man version of Iron Man. Fuck it, here he is. He's going to pop up in a sequence.
Here's the Fantastic Four game.
Oh, please.
Move on.
We know they exist in that game, though, because the bombastic Bagman suit is a costume.
That's true.
Although where the Baxter building is anyone's guess.
It's cloaked.
Ah, is that why? Is that why sometimes I swing through the city and just hit nothing in the middle of the...
Yeah, that's the Baxter building.
Yeah, it's not a glitch.
No, it's not a glitch. It's definitely the Baxter building.
We'd just like to put in this disclaimer that I've never experienced any ridiculously big glitches in that game. It's near perfect, and you should all buy a PlayStation 4. So we're not sponsored by Sony, but if they'd like to throw us some PlayStation 4s, then we'll start a Bitcoin farm.
Going on another tangent. So you know the rumours that Kevin Feige's been meeting with Chris Pine?
Ask what kind of tree it is. Ask what kind of tree it is.
What kind of tree is it?
It's Chris Pine. Yes.
Reed Richards?
If you'd have told me this 10 years ago, I would have said Johnny Storm.
Yeah, but it's not 10 years ago, is it?
I don't know. I don't know. I think with Reed, you need someone who can be a little detached, and I feel that Pine, regardless of whatever stories there are of him on sets or whatever, I just feel like he's very charismatic on screen, and Reed sort of has to skirt the line of being charismatic, but then disappear in himself a lot. Like, I know obviously we've talked about it before. Like, I could buy Krasinski doing that. Like, I've seen enough of him to go, like, I feel like he could.
Yeah, no,
totally. If you wanted to cast older for Reed, like someone like a Michael Shannon would, do you know what I mean? Kind of play that quite well.
He's a little too cold.
I don't know. You see him in interviews. There's a lot of warmth to him. So if you could, again, just skirt the line. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about Pine. I saw that this week someone asked John Cena, like, would you go in the MCU now you've played in the DCEU? And he's like, yeah. He says, if I can make it work and fit it in, why would I close off that opportunity to myself? That could be a lot of fun. And then they said, who would you play? Like
The Thing.
The Thing. And he went, yeah, why not? That'd be fun. That'd be cool.
That'd be The Thing.
And as soon as he said it, I was like, Unless.
Unless.
I mean.
Meanwhile,
we've seen. I'm just going to say it. I think Korg was a subtle road test.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And you could.
Korg looks fucking great.
Mix the performance capture work done on Korg and Thanos.
Just put a little orange in there.
Like, Cena as a performance captured Ben Grimm, I don't hate it.
I don't hate it.
He'll be a slightly warmer Ben Grimm, I guess. It'd be a little bit nicer.
Ben's warm. He's just
catchy as sin. What are you talking about?
Craggy.
Then again,
Ben's got a big warm heart.
I've been reading the majority of Fantastic Four I've read has been either the Mark Waid 90s stuff or the late 90s or 2000s stuff, or the Stan and Jack original stuff where Ben is just pissed off.
Ben is very pissed off in the early days.
Which you can just fair. He's like, I'm a fucking rock monster.
I'm a rock monster.
I can't find my dick.
I'm walking here. I'm made of rocks. Rah!
Brody, I can't find my dick.
Yeah. So that was a tangent.
Yeah. Midnight Suns coming March of next year. I love the idea that because the Avengers feel like they're in there just as recognisable characters for people who aren't familiar with the more, satanic or magic based sort of Marvel characters and villains. Feels like they're there to grab them. Like Captain Marvel feels a little OP for this sort of story, if that makes any sense. It feels like she could fly in and just kick the shit out of Lilith in 2 seconds. They'd be like, right, back over to space.
Also,
see
because
you guys
magic,
later.
it might also be out of her comfort zone.
She ain't Superman, bro.
No, but depending on how I think magic and science have weird interactions. Like magic befuddles Reed.
Your people call it magic. Our people call it science.
Our people call it
dubstep.
Our people call it soggy biscuit.
Good lord. But I do like the setup in the trailer of like the showing that the Avengers have done that, like, you know, they've taken threats from outer space came from the stars.
Yeah,
like,
so this is a seasoned...
They took him out and she waited and like they did this and still she waited. It's a sort of setting up the idea of like,
and still I do not say it.
So like setting up the idea that even if she's not like the biggest threat they've ever faced, she's waiting for the right time to do her thing and fuck everything up.
Oh.
And I like the mystical versions of the costumes. I think they look pretty cool. Doctor Strange's got an Assassin's Creed hooded vibe going on.
Yeah.
Magic's got a big old spiky helmet on her head.
Big old spiky helmet.
I'm intrigued. I think that's the thing as well, is it's like, if anyone's starting Stan accounts for this game, guys, hold your fucking horses. You've not played it or seen any of it yet.
We stan a AAA game.
So I say this with love, ladies and gentlemen.
You say everything.
If you're excited for Spider-Man No Way Home...
Fuck off and stop whispering in my head.
If you're excited for Spider-Man No Way Home, good. I think you're building up for a whole heap of disappointment or confusion, though. Because so much of the Spider-Man discourse on Twitter is people who've already decided what exactly the plot is.
The Spider-Man discourse. I mean, I think you can imply you can infer a lot, you can extrapolate a lot, but that's all that is. And
but Matt, we've got an interdimensional prison scene where Venom and the Lizard are going to appear in it.
We've been burnt before.
Tobey Maguire is going to have a scene where he's like, "What are web shooters?" There's so many confirmed and yet based on nothing scenes that people are talking about. They're saying, "I'm going to be so happy when they do this scene." It's like, why is there a culture out there who want to know the plot of something exactly before it comes out?
Did people not learn from WandaVision? Did people not learn?
But Matt, the devil's in the details, Matt. The devil is among us. Have you not seen the billboard of Peter with devil horns and a devil mustache? Mephisto, Matt. I mean, obviously, this film could actually contain Mephisto Easter eggs, but that's because it'd be a nod to the storylines that the film is basing itself off of.
And they would be cheap because it is coming out in December.
That's very true.
Got him!
Hang on, wait. Where are they buying the Easter eggs? Over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't be able to get them.
Oh, okay.
Brexit. So... Fucking Brexit. We cancelled our cat food subscription. It's been 3 months now where it's not been delivered, and we've just got to... We're really sorry it's delayed. You won't be charged this month. And it's like, I'm going to look into why it's been delayed. The companies that Whiskers uses are facing issues with not only border costs, but also lack of drivers.
No fucking drivers.
Yep. Why? Brexit. Thanks, Brexit. Anywho, I feel like I'm really confused as to why people want to know or are predicting and wishing the exact plot of No Way Home. I find it so odd. I'm like,
would you like a sweeping generalisation?
Yes.
They're all cunts. No, that's not true.
They're probably all just really excited teens who are just really happy
very,
for it.
very excited. But they're all pro shippers, and we're antis. That's sort of sputter in the works.
I've never felt more Sarah Z
Get that
in my life.
Get that in the tags and see what kind of traffic we get.
Hashtag big damn bread tube.
Oh God, we're literally defending children's suicide.
Not us. Look into the thing we're
really
talking
not,
about.
we're really not.
Look into the thing that Matt's joking about. It's ridiculous. Anyway. So, but I think that's a separation of age and culture in a way. I think in a Wikipedia world, we are seeing the equivalent of like when we were younger, we might pick up like a magazine with an exclusive article about an upcoming film, and what we'd be reading it for is a bit of a glimpse into the movie, a little bit, interviews with the actors, maybe some like exclusive pictures to sort of reveal a little bit of a look.
We're Starburst girls living in a Wikipedia world.
Exactly. Whereas now, people have grown up to the point where if they're not going to see the film in the first couple of days, they're going, I'm just going to go to Wikipedia. And they'll just read the plot. Yeah. And it's sort of now feeding back into itself where people are willing the plot of a movie to be what they want it to be.
I don't mind knowing the plot of something before going to see it because...
fine, but every detail?
Yeah, because like for me it's about how you get... I don't mind if I've been spoiled on a movie because for me it's about how you get there. That's the satisfying
true, but think about the surprise. Like, I think the last time in a movie where I was genuinely...
I love a surprise. I love a fucking surprise.
The last couple of times in a big genre picture where I was really surprised by it in a way that I was delighted by was The Suicide Squad this year because I didn't expect that wonderful rug pull 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
And it was so well done.
Yeah.
And Avengers Endgame because you realise 20 minutes in, we've seen shit all in the marketing for this. Yeah. Like,
There's so much we haven't seen.
Like, everything they've shown us, everything we've seen in the last 20 minutes is the trailers bar, like, one shot of some of them in white suits walking through a hallway.
Compare that to how much we saw of Black Widow and how much we've probably seen of Shang-Chi.
Some of the early preview reviews pre the US release for Shang-Chi said that the trailers have barely scratched the surface.
That's interesting.
That makes me hopeful.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them.
We'll be talking about Shang-Chi next week, folks. I don't know. Point is, last week, after we recorded an episode talking about the trailer leak for Spider-Man No Way Home, and joked that bet the fucking trailer comes out between now and the release of the next episode. Fucking
literally the next day, wasn't it?
Yep. So if you wanna in the past be satiated, I did a bit of a reaction video talking about my kind of concerns for the film just as a Spidey fan. But my message in that, which I think got a bit lost in the comments for some people, is if you're excited, good. I wish I was too. But my further thought in the week since has been like, it's weird that people are projecting a plot on this already.
I wouldn't say I'm excited for it.
It's a teaser trailer.
Curious.
And it's a very Sony teaser trailer.
Yeah,
lots and lots of stuff, and then something interesting and memorable in the last 5 seconds.
I'll tell you what's a really badly edited trailer. Again, sorry, this is a tangent.
No, tangent at all. It's a podcast and there's no news.
Because I saw it. I saw the trailer again when I went to see the Suicide Squad again yesterday.
Yeah.
Cop Shop. The trailer for that is awful.
Oh, it's terrible. The one with Gerard Butler.
Yeah. But the edits in it are just so sharp.
But I kind of like, and
it just ends abruptly mid-sentence.
No offense to him as a human, don't know him. Might be talking about a great person here, but like, when I see that Gerard Butler's attached to something now, I just assume it's going to be a bad film.
He might be a lovely bloke, but he's been doing a lot of shit.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he's a lovely bloke. He might be a cunt. I don't know.
He might be a lovely cunt.
Who could say? Maybe.
But yeah, I I agree. That's terrible. And it's Sony do this thing with their trailers, and you can sort of see, like, watch Marvel Cinematic Universe is a great barometer. Watch the MCU trailers from the past 4 or 5 years, and the two that really stand out are the two films that really stand out as like disjointed are the trailers for Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home.
Because Sony do them.
And it's just it is.
Look at both the trailers for Venom: What They Be Carnage.
Oh Jesus! Which may now be seeing a February release.
So is Mobius still lined up for January?
Morbius is never coming out. And I'll be honest, that's the world I want to live in.
Yeah, that's the best of all possible worlds.
I say that as a man who loves the character. That is the world I want to live in.
It's the world where A, Mobius never comes out, and B, Mobius never comes out because Jared Leto gets arrested for doing things with fans that he shouldn't.
What are you talking about? Mobius never came out. He just loves his jet ski.
Oh, Morbius, sorry.
He just loves his jet ski.
Now.
Wow, Matt. Or as Morbius would say, wow. But yeah, So, Spider-Man No Way Home. Trailer. Peter Parker's identity is out into the world, and it has consequences and repercussions. Cool. That's a movie. It's going to be the first 20 minutes of the movie. No,
this is a movie.
Peter goes to Doctor Strange. And again, like...
This is your brain on movies.
I know this is stuff that a lot of people, Spider-Man fans, like really hate about this iteration, but like it utilizes and integrates the rest of the Marvel universe quite well into its world. Like this is a Spider-Man, this isn't a Spider-Man necessarily like Spidey the company figurehead, like biggest selling comic book version who occasionally crosses over with other people that you're all used to.
No.
This is a more ultimate Spider-Man kind of, this dude was definitely born into a world of heroes.
Yeah.
He is a latecomer in this lineup.
A late bloomer, one might say.
Yeah, like sort of, this is Spidey in the first issue of Amazing Spider-Man.
A grower, not a shower.
This is Spidey. This is Spidey in his second appearance in the first ever issue of Amazing Spider-Man. This is that. I'm a superhero. Great. What should I do? I know. I'm going to break into the Baxter Building and ask the Fantastic Four if I can join them. Like this is that Spider-Man. Like he is a smaller fish in a very large pond of bigger fish. So Tony Stark's role in Homecoming is like, yeah, sure. After the circumstances of this Spidey meeting them, of course he's going to stay in touch and have that kind of thing. Far From Home, yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. are absolutely going to utilise him if he's in the area. We're going to make it work. Like, sure. So in this one, Peter's got a horrid problem. Magic might be able to solve it. I'm going to go see Doctor Strange. Does warm my heart that the two Stan and Steve creations are sharing the movie.
Yes.
Like, that is great. Like, the two of Steve Ditko's kids from the Stanley, like, pool are the stars of the film. And Holland and Cumberbatch seem to have really good chemistry. It also means we get more Wong.
It does feel weird, but
which
I
makes
will
me
allow it.
God. We also get more Wong, which makes me happy.
Yeah, that's one of the things people have been griping about the trailer. Is like, oh, what happened to Stephen Strange's character development? Like, he's acting completely irresponsibly. That's not like him at all. What?
Are you fucking kidding me? The guy,
What?
The guy went to Kamatage to fix himself out of vanity.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to be a superstar surgeon again. Like, do you know what I mean?
He's still an arrogant bastard.
He's still an arrogant prick.
He did nothing but argue with Iron Man for the first half of Infinity War.
Yeah, anyone who's saying that, go watch Doctor Strange again. Like, yes, he's more of an authoritative voice in the Avengers two-parter, because he has to be, because he's up against Tony, and out of the two of them, one of them is way more arrogant.
He's the Sorcerer Supreme, but he's still a prick.
Yeah, he's also not, like, the best sorcerer on the planet. He's just holding the position.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to be kept in check by Wong. That is their relationship.
Yeah.
Like, Wong is making sure that he doesn't fuck up.
Listen, you don't fuck up, I'm going to go fight the Abomination. I'll see you later.
Plus, have you ever read a Doctor Strange comic?
Yeah. How many
half of the shit happens because he's like, oh, I'm going to give this a try. You probably shouldn't do that. I'll figure it out. Oh, fuck.
Well.
Oh, God. What have I done? Sweet Jesus, what
Wong.
have I done? Wong! Wong, I've accidentally unleashed Shumagorath into the subway system.
Bring some tea and the sacred grimoire, please. I need to fix an interdimensional breach.
Wong, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry,
I know
Wong.
you're having your Zoom book club tonight. But,
How is Song of Achilles, by the way?
do you know what? I will get around to reading it. I kind of accidentally went into the attic of the Sanctum, and I was looking for a storage box, and I didn't check why there was a giant mystical padlock on it. I just kind of ripped it off, and now I've unleashed Nightmare.
Yeah.
And he's terrorizing New York. So, do you mind watching the Sanctum for me?
Do you mind just solving the problem and I'll take the credit?
Oh my god, Wong, hey, yeah, sorry, can we, like, rain check on going to see Wicked? It's just, can't really go to watch Broadway when Baron Mordo's turned it into a medieval encampment. So, apparently he wants to turn all New York into slave labour for his ancient artifact that will enslave the planet or something, I don't know.
I don't know how he got hold of it. I mean, I thought it was...
Let's be honest, he's just simping for Dynamo.
Yeah.
And it's kind of pathetic, but we should go deal with that.
We've got to take that beta cook down.
Wong, why are you crying, Wong?
Why are you crying, Wong?
Wong, why are you crying? Why do you look so angry, Wong?
I have no tears left to shed.
So yeah, like, I don't mind this. And also, we have precedent for this Strange to be like that. Based on the trailer, the spell cocks up because Peter starts interjecting. And Strange can't quite concentrate. No, but like Strange can't quite concentrate. The same Strange who needed to listen to music when performing surgery and tells the guy to fuck off out of the surgery so he can carry on because he can't concentrate. It's like, yes, there is precedent for this. There is absolutely precedent for this. Plus, you don't get your fucking movie if the spell goes correctly. So shut up and sit down.
And also, you get the movie they made, not the one you want. For better or worse.
Yeah, so it seems that the multiverse... This is its debut in the movies, where like the multiverse is introduced as a concept outside of its brief explanation in Endgame from the Ancient One.
Well, that we know, depending on what happens in Eternals and Shang-Chi. But I doubt there's of stuff in that, to be honest.
But yeah, so the Ancient One sets up the idea of the branching timeline. If you cock stuff up, things go off in the wrong way, and create deviations in the timeline, the sacred timeline.
Wow.
If you've been following the Disney Plus stuff, you know that Wanda's been messing with that now with the Darkhold, and in Loki it got fucking broken.
She's just wandering around.
So it's entirely possible that this is one of those where the spell goes wrong and oh no, we're dipping between universes. But it's that little thing of, and if you watch the TV shows, you know why it's broken.
Indeed.
But you don't have to watch it for this to work. Either way, we're getting the Spider-Man multiverse story that I didn't want, but putting that aside.
Like I say, Chris, you get the movie they made, not the one you want.
That's true. Which is a shame, because more scenes with just, like, Tom Holland, Jacob Batalon, Zendaya, and Marissa Tomei would be wonderful.
I'm not saying that the movie you want wouldn't be better, but it's not one again. I'm sorry.
Because we get some really cute rapport with Zendaya and Tom at the start, and we get only glimpses of Ned. Did you...
Sometimes a glimpse of Ned is all you need to fill yourself on that sweet, sweet Ned.
He's not been announced as far as I'm aware, but did you catch the glimpse of what appears to be Nick Fury going into the interview room at the police station?
I did not. But it would make sense.
There's no, like, hero shot, but it's one of those, like, hang on, that is a bald African-American performer in a massive black leather trench coat with something strapped around his head walking through that door.
Actually Wesley Snipes.
He just rocked up on set. They won't let me be Blade again, so I'm just going to appear in their Spider-Man movie.
I'm just going to be a person.
I'm going to show up like old school BBC recording in the 60s style at the end of the day, and they have to use the footage no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm just going to walk
It's a tight shoot. They can't cut it.
Can we not edit it out? No. This is part of the Wesley Snipes clause.
And
what?
A Merry Christmas to you folks at home as well. Got him!
And a Merry Christmas to all the motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. Oh, now use your seashells.
Oh, God.
Dear. Pay your taxes, kids.
God,
so,
we are indulging ourselves today, aren't we?
It's worth it. I like it. It's
Worth
nice
it.
in a way, in many ways.
Anyways.
Multiverse, Doctor Strange sets up the idea that we don't really know much about this, and we probably shouldn't fuck it up, but it looks at some point like a montage, an explosion of subway trains suddenly are flying through a desert somewhere. And then we get loads of... Oh, Happy Hogan being targeted by a fucking covert ops team?
Why not?
I mean, I'm happy Favreau's in it, but I'm also like, you fucking leave Happy Hogan alone, you bastards!
I'm happy. Leave Happy alone!
Someone spotted the logo for Damage Control on the SWAT team.
Yeah, I can believe that.
But they're getting into SWAT teams now?
Listen, We're talking about the militarization of the infrastructure of the United States.
To be fair, the last time we saw them...
It is a political statement.
The last time we saw them, their personnel and handling of a situation created the Vulture.
Yeah,
so...
I mean, they're not exactly fucking subtle, are they?
No. But then we get a bunch load of not so clear and then clear images of things and characters. We see a shitload of yellow lightning. Jamie Foxx, way back when on Instagram, said that, yes, I'm back and I'm not going to be blue this time.
Thank fuck for that.
So, Jamie Foxx is definitely in this movie,
Yeah.
and Electro is at least using yellow lightning.
Not blue. I mean, there are leaked pictures of him out there in a better costume.
I get the blue thing in Amazing Spider-Man 2 because they were going for the ultimate
Yeah, it's
Spider-Man
very
kind of
ultimate,
look.
yeah.
But even then, that's how he ended up looking.
Yeah.
Early on, he's a scrawny little white bald guy in a leather onesie with a lightning bolt-like zipper.
You know what does it for me.
And he's got yellow eyes and he sparks yellow electricity. And then later on they went, let's make him blue. So I get it. And then the main continuity kind of adopted the blue thing with the electricity looking blue and him in his old costume but maskless with scars on his face. Yeah. So it's like, okay, sure, whatever. But if they're going to lean into the yellow lightning, great. We see 2 sandstorms, one of which has a silhouette. So... Everybody's sleeping on Thomas Hayden Church. Like... One of the genuinely great things about Spider-Man 3...
Yeah, having watched Spider-Man 3 again recently...
He's amazing in it.
He's fucking great.
He's so good in it. But again, it's if this is him from that universe, like... Isn't he a good guy?
I don't think it's going to be like the Raimi universe. It's going to be... It's going to be variants that use familiar faces.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, but I also... I've seen a lot of people complaining about, like, well, then what's the point? Because we're not going to be invested in them. But it's like, you weren't invested in President Loki or Classic Loki until you watched them for 10 minutes and went, okay, that's hilarious. I'm on board for this.
And you might not end up being invested in them. But also, it might just be straight up the Raimi universe. We don't know yet.
Yeah, which gets murky, because we know that the web universe is there with Electro, and there is a bit where something attacks Peter from behind in a tunnel, and strange magic deflects it, and folks with decent monitors who can turn the saturation and the contrast up and down are like, that's the fucking lizard.
Okay.
That's Reese Ifan's, like, big bulbous headed 3 fingers on this hand, 4 on that hand lizard. It's like, okay then.
I think he's getting lizarded.
Lizard up in this bitch. So that's the lizard, that's Sandman, that's Electro, and then we get 2 blatant confirmations.
Oh yeah.
With pumpkin bombs.
What if it's
and the Defoe. If you bring fucking Chronicle into this. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but if you bring that goblin into this and not Defoe, I'm going to cut a bitch.
But it is Defoe, because we've seen the lead picture.
And we hear, well, we don't know. That's the thing with pictures.
Is it genuine?
We don't know, because MOLINA doesn't look like he does in the trailer.
That's true. But if it's from a set photo...
Now, it could have been pre-de-aging, maybe?
Yeah, because he's got the thingies, hasn't he? It's the blue...
He's got the blue thingies in his back.
The placeholders for the...
But the Defoe's not definite, and the Fox isn't definite, and it's like, where have these pics come from? Now, allegedly CinemaCon, but if that was the case, there'd be more people who'd attended that, the marketing and journalist people, who would have said, we saw some footage from No Way Home that hasn't been shown in the trailer.
Unless they
even though they wouldn't say what it is, they'd say, we've been shown it, and you know what I mean? But they haven't, so
yeah, it could be bullshit, but it's...
Yeah.
I dare to dream.
But Cackle. Defoe's Cackle. Getting the penis hard. If your vagina was not dripping at that laugh, then good, because that'd be a weird reaction. But like, be excited.
Yeah, and Ben Shapiro would be very upset.
Fuck Ben Shapiro. No, don't, because then he'll feel love. He'll feel the tender touch of another human being, and we don't want him to have.
I feel sorry for that motherfucker's wife. Unless she's awful as well, in which case, fuck her. I don't know her.
Tangent! And then we get the most exciting reveal of the trailer, the one that everyone's been talking about. Tom Holland wearing Peter's smart outfits from the Raimi trilogy.
Yeah.
Tom Holland is wearing the same outfit Peter wears at the theatre in 2 and 3.
Mm.
In the Maguire films, which is like, wait a minute.
Maguire.
Is this multiverse thing going to be like a Quantum Leap kind of setup?
Yeah.
Like, are Maguire and Garfield going to be in this as like his reflections?
Is Garfield going to be in it? I hear he hates Mondays.
Yeah, but they paid him in lasagna.
So as opposed to pizza. 32 minutes. This is free. This pizza's free. Mr. Aziz, mate, is going to rip that sticker off your hat. You're going to be so annoyed. Yeah. Fucking hell.
But don't worry, because then he's going to adopt the Baudelaire orphans. And then he'll get killed off. Spoiler alert. Anyway, the point is... He was great in that series. Anyway, point is... Doc Ock shows up.
Yeah.
And it's Alfred Molina. And it's Alfred Molina's tentacles, albeit in CGI. And he's got a wicked little perm going on. And tiny little shades.
They've de-aged him.
And they've de-aged him in a way where I'm like, did he ever look like that?
Probably not. Maybe.
And I don't just mean in the Raimi movies. Like, he definitely didn't look like that in the Raimi movies. He looked as, I'm paraphrasing Movie Bob from the Really That Good video here, but it's like he's got that sexy European fat guy thing going on in Spider-Man 2. It's like, yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
He doesn't have... He does not have...
like that.
Oh my god, like...
People living for Alfred Molina in Spider-Man 2 in that vest. People living for it.
It's a little bit tasty in that
movie.
movie.
Just the poetry that got his wife.
Fuck the... you want... You want to win a woman's heart? You feed her this red turtleneck. But like, no, he's got a jawline that he's never had.
No, he doesn't look like it. Almost
like think of Alfred Molina over the decades.
Think of Alfred Molina in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Think of him in Species. Like he's never looked like this.
Now we're going deep.
He's never looked like this, and even now he doesn't look like this.
No.
Like, he's still a chunky dude, and he's got a big old salt and pepper beard, and it's like... Have they de-aged it? Do you know what? It's really weird. Like, I think the thing that sells the nostalgia of this moment for people is his voice.
We'll see how it looks.
Hearing his voice is what's making people excited. You know, hello, Peter. You're like, holy shit, it's Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2. But I'm like, holy shit, they've done to him what they did to Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War.
Oh, no, they've done him dirty.
It's kind of Alfred Molina, but... like, it's not quite Alfred Molina. Who is this man? I don't know. I guess it's a variant.
I can't believe it's not Alfred Molina.
Spider-Man No Way Home. Coming to cinemas probably next summer. So...
Coming to cinemas... Never.
I partially think that's why they've held off on the teaser trailer for so long. Because the rumour was they didn't want to take away the spotlight from Shang-Chi, but then, like, they've had to now.
Yeah.
I think the reason, and the only reason they put it out was because of the leak.
Yeah.
So I think the reason they held off so long is because they know the film is not likely to come out in December.
You reckon?
I think it's going to be delayed. And I don't think it's because of the production. I think it's because if you think the following statement is political, fuck off. I think it's because we're going to have another surge of COVID. We're going to have waves of lockdowns or tears at least over Christmas.
There definitely will be tears over Christmas, but that's because you're not getting what you want off your list.
But, like, Venom is penciled in for a delayed release date again. Tubby Toast. Again.
Fuck me.
There's no other sort of, like, massive release announced for this Christmas, really.
No.
West Side Story still tentative, because that was meant to be last Christmas. And also, you know, they've got a nightmare to have to edit the marketing around ignoring the main character because he's a fucking sexual harasser.
Shit.
They call him Baby Botherer. Anyway.
What?
Yeah, Ansel Elgort slips into underage girls' DMs. I think that's the story. Allegedly. Look it up on Google, but he's either flirted with underage people or has been abusive. Here's the problem. I can't tell if I'm thinking of his story or Drake Bell's, because there are that many scummy Hollywood like stories coming out nowadays of dudes who seemed like the nicest not being the nicest. But there is a reason why in the teaser trailer for West Side Story you don't see a lot of Tony. They're really downplaying his involvement in the movie, despite him being the main character. Go on, what's Google turned up? Which horrid thing has he done?
The only thing I can find is a fucking Daily Mail article.
Oh.
Ansel Elgort debuts new shaved head on social media just over a year after denying claims he sexually assaulted a 17-year-old girl.
There we go. 20. Sexual assault of a minor. I love the fact that I can go, yep, there we go. I wasn't getting the details wrong. I hate the fact that this even exists and that it happened. And I hope everybody involved is okay. Except for Ansel Elgort, who...
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, well, as I've always said before, believe the accuser, never attack the accused, because you never really know until everything's been ironed out. But, even so, ew. Yeah. How the fuck did we get under Baby Driver? I can't remember. West Side Story, big releases, Spider-Man. I think it's going to be put back. I've heard rumblings that the theatre and the cinema and the events industry are preparing for another quiet period.
They're girding their lines for another good old fucking.
Yeah, which, I mean, pisses me off to no end for multiple reasons, one of which being, I've got a job at Christmas. Do I not have that job at Christmas anymore? But yeah, so it's not a good time. And I think that's why they've delayed, because they knew that the film would probably be... if the film is going to have to delay again,
yeah,
the best strategy is to tease the movie now.
Yeah.
So that if it has to be delayed around Christmas time, you put out full trailer 1.
People will remember that shit.
Yeah. Whereas if it is coming out at Christmas, it just means that, like, next month, here's trailer 1. And the month after, here's trailer 2. Because that can happen. There are a lot of times where films have done that. I mean, fuck, some films are bold enough to just go, by the way, we're on Netflix tonight. Like the Cloverfield Paradox. Like,
yeah, that didn't end well for him, though.
Well, no, it ended well for Netflix. It ended well for Netflix because it was like the biggest freaking amount of viewers in one go on one night, like worldwide. But...
Didn't end well for anyone who watched the Cloverfield Paradox.
No. What a wonderful cast, completely wasted.
Fucking missed opportunity, yeah. Fucking swing and a miss.
I would love to watch the movie that was going to be before it became a Cloverfield tie-in. Because I have a feeling that it probably wouldn't have been that much better, but it wouldn't at least have sort of ended with we're relying on you to care about another movie to make this work.
Yeah, like all the stuff...
Like the ending would have had to have been different.
All the stuff off the station just makes no sense.
Yeah. Let's do the fork in the garbage disposal. Ding, 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 ding. That was a segue into What If.
What If?
Let's talk What If.
What If?
What If Episode 3, what if the Avengers weren't fucking alive or whatever.
Indeed.
Spoilers ahead. If you want to skip for emails toward the end, you can do that. Or I recommend going to watch What If Episode 3 and then coming back and listening to the rest of this entire podcast.
It's an episode of television.
I really liked this one.
I think it's the strongest of the 3 so far. I'm still not in love with it. Just because
That's fine, yeah.
I just like, it's fine. I don't hate it.
As we discussed last week, I think it's a palate thing. I think you are indicative of what a big portion of the audience have said as well, which is like it's the consequenceless stuff of it all. The fact that it is kind of throwaway is sort of a sure. Yeah, it was 25 minutes of TV and I watched it and then I went about my day.
I watched it this morning before I came over. Like, it's fine.
Was it you first watched this morning?
Yeah. I just like I'm not getting excited about this in the same way that I've got excited about Loki and Cap and WandaVision. That's just not happening for me.
That's fine. I'm a sucker for anthology TV and What If the comic. So it is a Vine compilation that butters my crumpet. I'll tell you that for now. So since you watched it this morning, give us the box summary of what happens in What If Series 1 Episode 3. What if the Avengers never came together?
What if Earth lost its mightiest heroes?
That's a front cover title. Mine is like the napkin note that was made as the episode was being developed. What if the Avengers aren't here? I guess.
So the episode picks up with that scene from Iron Man 2, which sounds like they just lifted the audio directly from it rather than have someone do a Downey Jr. impression.
Although it is Mick Wingert doing a Downey Jr. impression.
It?
Yeah.
He's very good.
It's Mick Wingert playing Tony Stark.
He's very, very good.
He's great. Yeah. He's really good.
But yeah, so there's that. It's Sir, I need you to get to exit the donut into the sort of diner scene where they start to lay out the Avengers thing. And then when Widow injects him with the sort of thing to...
The adrenaline thing to stave off the infection.
To stave off his infection, he fucking straight up dies.
Mm-hmm. Goes into shock and...
Fucking dies.
Dies on the floor.
And Widow is arrested for his murder, which she protests her innocence at.
And even Fury's like,
Fury believes
I believe
her.
you. Yeah.
But
it's out of my hands.
Yeah.
I believe you.
So she has a "does anybody want to get out" moment, and
escapes
from what's his name?
Brock Rumlow.
Rumlow escapes from Rumlow's custody, and she goes off
You
to
get
find...
confused because the actor's name is Frank Grillo, and both sound like a comic book villain name.
Yeah. I'm Grillo. I'm the barbecue fiend. So. No, it's a 60s Batman villain.
Oh my god, yes.
And so she goes to find out...
his arch rival's the Condiment King.
Yes, the Condiment King.
How dare you douse my crispy meats in your sauces?
Aha! But if we team up, we'll create a spicy gang. The Spice Gang. There we go. They're gonna wage war on Guy Fieri in Flavortown. So, Jesus Christ. Right, plot of What If.
No one listens to this for news. They listen to it for bullshit, and I'm so happy that you go to this every week.
Plot of What If.
Yeah, so Natasha's given the means of escape by Fury.
Yeah,
and
she goes off to investigate exactly what's going on.
Specifically going to investigate someone who could look into the biology of the injection, who's used to biology and weird compounds and as yet undiscovered chemical reactions. Betty fucking Ross.
Betty Ross, baby.
Betty Ross is finally fucking back in a Marvel Cinematic Universe
Betty Ross. We
also get confirmation that the events of the Incredible Hulk happen at the same time as Iron Man 2.
Yes.
Which I buy, I guess?
Yeah, it was never really clear to me, but also
the consultant could totally take place after the events of Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
And the end credit scene of Incredible Hulk could absolutely take place after the events of Iron Man 2. So yeah. Sure.
So, yeah.
Actually, that does make more sense because, Fury in Iron Man 2 sets up the idea that we're going to keep you on, but in an advisory capacity.
And then he goes to meet Ross.
So then he would go to meet Ross. Yeah. There we go.
So we get, so we get Betty Ross and Bruce Banner.
Yeah, played
meanwhile
by Mark Ruffalo, and animated to kind of look like a Edward Norton cosplaying Mark Ruffalo.
It's a good medium.
It's a nice little mix.
Then we get Thor, the bit from Thor where he tries to pick up the hammer, but this time Hawkeye shoots him. Again, Hawkeye protests that he didn't fire, but he clearly did because we see him do it. And then while he's in prison he's in custody, he just drops dead. Yeah. So Fury realizes
as far as a murder mystery and a superhero story goes, it's pretty fucking great because you are like, wait,
and then nothing happens. He's in the background all the time, and it goes from him protesting his innocence under his breath, and then he go in the cell to talk to him, and he's dead already.
Yeah, he's just sat there, slumped, dead,
and it's just a fucking.
So Hawkeye kills Thor.
It becomes
Widow killed Iron Man.
Yeah, so it becomes what
Hawkeye just dies.
Who someone's targeting the Avengers Initiative candidates, who and why, and how.
We get the excellent scene of from The Incredible Hulk of Banner hulking out in the glass bridge at the university
sequence.
And leaping out to fight the troops on the lawn. Except this time he hulks out because even though Widow's there, that's the what if sort of stuff I love. Where I'm like, oh shit! Natasha's suddenly in this other scene. Yeah, this is weird. Yeah. She manages to negotiate enough of a standoff with General Ross that the men stand down and hold their fire.
But someone fires a
shot. Someone fires
and triggers the Hulk.
Who then hulks out to the point of turning into big green pudding.
Yeah.
which it's a kids' cartoon. They're not going to go too gory, but there's still some body horror there.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird.
Bet he's horrified because he's not supposed to be able to die. But there we go. We've got a dead Hulk. Well, bits of a dead Hulk.
Meanwhile, we don't see this, but I just wish they'd cut to Emil Blonsky in one of the trucks to the edge going, do you need me now or what?
He's like,
am I coming out? Or, I'm pissed off and ready for round one, sir.
Let's get you system flushed. So
I also love that this confirms that like Banner was a person of interest to the Avengers Initiative.
Yes.
But then after the events of Incredible Hulk, that's when Fury's interest shifts to Blonsky.
Yes.
Because it's like, well, he's fucking mad, but like he's a military guy, so he can probably make this work. And that's why Coulson and Sitwell
probably more likely to
send Tony to fuck up the negotiation, because they're like, we think Fury's making a mistake on this one. It's weird because it's even though this doesn't count because it isn't canon in the MCU, it sort of informs other things.
Yeah, it's a neat. It's the way it makes other things fit together is kind of neat.
Well, Louis Despacito's on it as well as a producer, so that'll probably be why, because he was across the one shots and everything. So he's making sure it syncs. But
anyway, I need to finish this plot summary, or we're never going to get anywhere.
So Thor's death triggers the Bifrost, and the arrival of
Loki with an Asgardian army and
including
the Warriors
Sif
3,
Volstagg and Fandral and Hogan.
He's like, oh hey, your will killed my brother. We're gonna fuck you up.
And I was like, why would he be like that? Oh yeah, because at that point in the story, Odin's in the Odin sleep and Loki's the stand-in king.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's seeing this as an opportunity.
Oh boy, is he.
Yeah. Which is why, tell me if you're the same, I spent the entire first 15 minutes of this going, this is Loki trying a different takeover plan.
Yes.
Forgetting that he's not at that point in his story yet.
No.
He's not
there yet.
Working with Thanos and the Chitauri.
And
it's
indeed,
not happened yet. Because Thor's not happened yet.
Loki is central to the resolution of this mystery as Fury
Loki's
realizes.
the nice little what if thing as well, the twisteroo. But
you know, Black Widow stumbles on the answer, but he's only able to give Fury a cryptic warning before she too is killed.
It's all about hope.
It's all about hope. And so...
That's when the penny dropped for me.
Yeah, that's when the penny dropped for me, because you also see a certain name on the screen.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Okay.
So
one of the staff profiles that she pulls up on the on the system is Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah.
So and then you go, oh,
because that's unique from the first two episodes. This one doesn't begin with the Watcher going, here's the moment where everything changes.
Nope.
We see Stark die and we assume that's it.
But nope.
No, the moment everything changes happens like at
2
least
years before that.
2 years before the story, where in this universe, Hope, Janet was recruited by S.H.I.E.L.D. at some point and during the early Ant-Man stuff.
Well, they were already agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like that her being part of S.H.I.E.L.D. is intrinsic to Hope then.
Yes.
Following in to find out more.
So Hope is recruited by S.H.I.E.L.D., dies on mission, and drives Hank around the fucking bend, and Hank becomes Yellow Jacket. And
in a sort of hybrid of the Corey Stoll / comic book outfit, which is quite cool.
With the sort of shoulder wings, and goes off assassinating all the Avengers candidates, which Fury realizes, and having been given a day by Loki to find the real killer, and therefore have Loki bring them to justice, teams up with Loki to create illusions of himself, befuddle and capture Hank Pym,
played by Michael Douglas because that's obviously the twist that he's the killer.
Yeah,
and it's like aided by the fact they resisted the urge to put his name in the opening titles.
Yes,
which is like well done,
very good.
Because also you can just be like, oh, I guess it's an impersonator. You hear one line from him, you're like, nope, that's fucking Michael Douglas.
It's just got the gravel, hasn't it?
That's fucking Michael Douglas.
It's got the Michael Douglas.
He's got the gravel and he's got the quips for some reason. Yeah. He's quite sort of like, what are you doing? And it's like, what the fuck is happening? But yeah, and then every piece falls into place. Tony's not injected with anything. Ant-Man literally just like goes inside him and kills him.
Yeah.
Same with Hawkeye. You see him jumping out of Clint's ear canal.
Yeah.
So like, has he just gone into Clint's brain and just like punched it and then left?
Well, you see the way he kills Hulk is he throws an enlarging disc at Hulk's heart.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And so Hulk just fucking booms.
And that's why we see Natasha getting killed by an invisible assailant.
Yes.
Because it's Tiny Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Jumping and punching her
It's
to
Tiny
death.
Man.
Tiny Man. And same with Thor. Like, Thor was like fairly human because that's part of his story arc in that film.
So he gets killed by an arrow shot, which
Hank literally just like flicks out of the quiver because the shot was ready.
Well, no, he hits Barton's hand. Barton lets go.
Barton's like, the fuck.
Yeah, which is why he's
what the fuck, man?
adamant that he didn't shoot because he never slips and he never misses, but he did.
So yeah, he gets taken in. I love that Fury meets him at Hope's grave.
Yeah.
Loki meets him at Hope's grave.
Yes, and Fury.
Yeah, that scene of a load of like Samuel L. Jackson's just cackling was really
that's quite good. And the giant one in the sky.
Yes, that was pretty cool.
And the casket of Ancient Winters coming out to play again.
Yes, which was nice. It was like, oh, of course he's got that. Like it's part of the plot of Thor.
Yeah.
Like he has it to hand. So yeah, I really dug it, and I love the fact it still had a what if Twilight Zone-y kind of. Oh, you thought this was a happy ending?
Because then Loki
takes advantage.
Throws the United Nations under his sway and turns Earth, Midgard, into a vassal state of Asgard under his rule, like mirroring his "you were born to be ruled" stuff from Avengers.
Straight up the same dialogue, meaning that is a speach he's had written down for a while.
Which again is something that they sort of play on in Loki. But we get a little, along with some narration from the Watcher, we get a brief glimmer of hope as
Fury continues the mission to find the capsicle.
Yeah, so we see Fury find the capsicle. But
earlier in the story,
we see the pager.
You see him go call for Captain Marvel, and they sort of leave it ambiguous as to whether or not he used it or not. He sort of is like, he puts it back in the glove box, but he obviously did
because she's there.
Fucking Carol rocks up, and then she's like, "What do you need me for?" So it's
where's
like
the fight?
So wait, so the story in this universe is going to be Nick Fury and two captains
liberating
Earth from an Asgardian regime.
Loki's rule, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's alright.
I like it. I think the stand-in voice actors do a phenomenal job. Like, Betty Ross. Is
that Lake Bell? Because Lake Bell is in this.
I think Lake Bell is Natasha.
I'm trying to look up the cast list, but IMDb is just not loading for me for some reason.
Yeah, I think Lake Bell is Natasha. I'll pull it up. Your Honour.
Yeah, I don't know why.
But yeah, so it's we got some. We'll touch on who's in it. Touch on who's in it, lad.
Because obviously Jackson is reprising his role. Clark Gage reprising his role.
Yeah. Which is nice. It was really nice to see Coulson again and find out that Coulson's just like oozing that bi energy in this.
Oh, like is he?
Coulson fancies the fuck out of everybody.
Oh yeah.
And I love that he's like.
They do make a recurring gag of Thor just being gorgeous.
Well, the fact that it's a dark joke. But the fact that they're both sort of like, even though he's dead, he smells amazing.
Even though he's rotting, he still smells of lavender.
It's just like, oh my god, that's horrid.
Oh god.
Yeah, let's. Fucking gross.
Was it
Samuel Jackson, Nick Fury, Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye.
Yeah, unfortunately.
He just, as far as voice acting goes, he does an alright job.
It's like, come on, let's be honest about this.
Allegedly.
No, he's a prick.
Who else? Mark Ruffalo, of course, as Bruce Banner and the Hall.
Yeah, the Ruffalo Buffalo.
Hiddleston as Loki.
Yeah, of course.
Clark Gregg as Coulson. Jamie Alexander as Sif, getting the Denai Guerrero treatment of... Is that it? Is
that
like
in one line, and it's like, okay, fine.
But fair enough, you know. Frank Grillo as Brock Rumlow. Yeah. Lake Bell as Black Widow. She did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I was like, is that not?
She does the right balance that Josh Keaton did with Steve Rogers, which is like you buy that it's them, but it's also not just an impersonation.
Yeah, because I totally bought that Steve Rogers in the first episode was Chris Evans.
Yeah,
totally bought it.
It's because they affect enough of their mannerisms. So like Scarlett Johansson's got this sort of like rounded sound to a lot of her quieter dialogue, and Lake Bell mimics that brilliantly. But she's also not just putting on Scarlett's voice. So you sort of go, yeah, okay, sure. That's
putting on Scarlett's voice. Like someone's worn this before. It feels weird.
Mick Winger as Tony Stark.
Yeah. Okay.
Michael Douglas as Hank Pym / Yellow Jacket.
Yeah.
Stephanie Panisello as Betty Ross.
Okay. Very doing the Liv Tyler breathiness.
And it sounds bob on. It's like if you just watch Incredible Hulk and then watch this, you'd be like, sure, okay. Yeah. Mike McGill as Thaddeus Ross. I guess William Hurt was like, I don't understand. You want me to do the first one again? No, not really. And Alexandra Daniels as Carol Danvers.
Okay, so no Brie Larson.
No Brie Larson in this series. Yeah, still to come in terms of actors actually reprising their roles. We've got Angela Bassett as Ramonda, Paul Bettany as Vision.
Was Angela Bassett in the T'Challa Star-Lord episode as well?
I don't think she spoke, so she must be. She must be whatchamacalling it. She must be coming up in a future one. She might have had a line, but I don't recall it off the top of my head. Leslie Bibb is reprising Christine Everhart from the first two Iron Man movies, the reporter.
Okay.
Clancy Brown is going to be Surtur.
Sure.
Don Cheadle is James Rhodes.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch is Stephen Strange / Doctor Strange Supreme.
Oh, I wonder if they're going to redo the Terrence Howard stuff from Iron Man 1 with Don Cheadle.
Maybe. Depends on the story. Oh, of course, it's the Killmonger story.
It's the Killmonger one. Yeah, they must be doing that.
Alright. So we're getting that Ruffalo and Ruffalo treatment from this one.
Alright.
Continuing his comic book, Everything Supremacy, David Desmolchin's returning as Kurt.
Of course he is.
Kat Dennings is playing Darcy.
Of course she is.
Jon Favreau's playing Happy. Goldblum is the Grandmaster. Or is it spelt here the Grandmaster? Yes. Chris Hemsworth is playing Party Thor because of course he's in this, but he doesn't have a line.
Yeah. He just gets a literally a fucking.
Is she the original? I'm sure she is.
Is who the original was?
Yes, Rachel House is returning to play Topaz. So that'll probably be in scenes with the Grandmaster.
Yeah, all right.
Michael B. Every time I think of Rachel House, I don't think of any of her other roles. I just think of her as the Grandma in Moana. That bit where she just is like, I thought it was all a dream. Splash, and she just goes, nope. Funniest delivery. Michael B. Jordan as King Killmonger.
I like that.
We will see Hope Van Dyne at some point, and Evangeline Lilly is reprising the role.
Cool.
Rachel McAdams is reprising Christine Palmer.
Cool.
Natalie Portman is reprising Jane Foster.
Cool.
Paul Rudd is reprising Scott Lang, and based on the trailer, as a head in a jar.
Why not?
Andy Serkis is playing Ulysses Claw. Kobe Smulders is Maria Hill. Georges St. Pierre will be returning as Batroc.
Sure.
Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One.
Sure.
Emily Van Camp as Sharon Carter.
Sure.
Taika Waititi as Korg, and
Sure.
Benedict Wong as Wong.
Sure.
Characters that are also going to appear but are confirmed to not be voiced by their MCU performers are Peter Parker / Zombie Hunter Spidey, Ultron, which is a shame because it would have been nice to hear Spader again, Gamora, Wanda Maximoff / Scarlet Witch, Shuri, fine, and just if you ever want to feel real sad, look at Letitia Wright's Twitter feed, and Pepper Potts. So
Yeah, because Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't understand animation.
no, well, she doesn't understand what film she's in.
Yeah.
What? Oh god, or like that we don't want to buy vagina rocks. Thanks.
No thanks.
So wait,
What
it's
about
from
vagina candles.
It's from the moon. And you want me to
Vagandles.
put a wick in it, and then stick it in my bumhole?
If you like it, then you should have put a wick in it.
Oh, good lord. I really dug this one. I just like Marvel as a
it's-
murder mystery.
It's fine.
Did its job for me. Sam Jackson getting a paycheck. I'm here for it. Getting a paycheck and still delivering.
Oh yeah, well he always does.
Has he ever given a shit performance or a phoned in performance? I don't think he ever has.
Oh, like.
I think there's a reason why people want to keep working with him because
Well, it's like
he
you said,
obviously delivers every time.
Acting replaced his crack addiction, so
Well, fair enough.
in his words. So.
Isn't it weird that there are some actors who like come from that of like I did some horrid shit, I kicked that, and now do this to stop myself doing the horrid shit. Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
Fucking Danny Trejo, man. What an absolute goddamn treasure.
What an absolute goddamn Trejo.
And proof, which we must remind the world, because we're all for calling out scumbags, but people can evolve and change and become better people, and to constantly just remind them of the thing they used to do, it's kind of shitty. If they have shown actual growth and progression and change.
People who do and have done bad things are not necessarily bad people, and people who do and have done good things are not necessarily good people.
The world
and with that,
is grey.
Onto the emails.
Here we go.
Good and bad people doing good and bad things. First one comes in from
Sam. There you go, Sam. Hey, Sam. Hey, Sam. Sam, you're the man. We're wearing you like a frying pan.
He says...
You don't wear frying pans. Saucepans? Yes.
Hello, boys!
Sorry, could you deliver that with a tiny bit more camp? Just a little bit more fabulous.
Hello, boys!
I felt that. I liked it.
Did you feel my vibrato?
I did. It was nice. I shook
Well,
a little bit.
Kevin Feige has had a hell of a week, hasn't he? I come to you, gents.
Or not monetarily, Kevin Feige.
I come to you, gents, with thoughts on the No Way Home trailer. It looks great, but there's an octopus in the room we gotta talk about.
Is there? Where?
Spider-Man 2 has such a strong ending for
I thought the
Otto's
dog was
character.
in there, but... Like...
After relieving himself from the control of his mechanical arms, deep down, he's still the same man who wants to do the world right. And his sacrifice to
I
save
will not die a monster.
And his sacrifice to save the city at the end of the movie really hammers that home. But I feel that his multiversal appearance in NWH is that sounds like a wrestling team. Is going to completely subdue Otto's character development.
Yeah.
Unless the writers have a perfectly good reason to do so, obviously. Spoiler, they don't. That being said, when he appeared with Hello Peter, holy moly, I had the biggest, goofiest grin plastered on my face. It really felt like I was 8 years old again. But your name's not Peter. Nitpicking aside, it's great to have Alfred Molina
How do you spell
again.
Sam?
P-E-T-E-R.
No,
Okay. Sure. Even more surprising to see Willem Dafoe back as Gobby. Rosie. I love these boys. Yes. I'll admit, I haven't been this excited for a movie since Endgame, and in the dark times we're living in, I think excitement is what the world needs right now. Yeah. Keep on trucking, you beautiful boys, and until my next email, goodbye, my dears! That comes from Sam the Dam Builder.
I mean, we are a
Damn, Sam!
I've got to say, considering like 90% of that email was just reused Spider-Man quotes, I have to call it out. It was brilliant, but lazy.
Rosie,
so,
I love these boys.
If you want to get a Sam to love you,
this one comes
feed
in
him
from
poetry.
This one comes in from Chewy.
Hey, Chewy.
He says, "Good afternoon, Messrs. Mayhew and Christoph."
Messrs. Mayhew.
Yeah, and Christoph.
I'll take it. I just like Mezza Mayhew.
A friend of mine.
Someone's been watching the Big Damn stream.
A friend of mine recently reminded me of the concept of Captain Britain. Obviously, in What If, Peggy has basically Captain Britain or Captain Carter, and that's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, fuck's sake, they give a massive shout out to Captain Britain when she takes a fucking sword up to fight the tentacled beastie, which is very much a Captain Britain kind of thing, like the mutants and Arthurian legends and stuff. Yeah.
Slight spoilers for Black Widow ahead. We also know Russia is in the MCU in the I misread that. It is in the MCU.
We also know that Russia is in the MCU.
Yep. All of Russia. We also know Russia in the MCU and the comics had their own super soldier, the fantastic Red Guardian.
Still fits.
Were Captain Britain to be brought into the MCU, I'd like to put forward Matt Berry's name for the role. And who wouldn't?
I mean...
Stephen Toast for Captain Britain.
Are they going to put him on that Kumail Nanjiani, regime? Because I think if we had too many... Oh, this super soldier used to be a super soldier and now they've let themselves go, it'd get a little bit less fun.
Think Matt Berry from Merlin.
See, your light bulb moment went off.
Yeah. Ooh,
Matt Berry from Merlin.
I promise this wasn't just an excuse for Matt Berry impressions, but please, impressions away. Leave the spelling mistake in, it's funnier. Everyone's favourite second favourite Twitch mod, Chewy More.
Derek Sibling the actor? The finest leer this cat's ever seen.
P.S. Feel free to send me a timestamp, as God knows I don't actually listen to these. P.P.S. I kid. P.P.S. Mostly.
He mostly skips to the emails. Mostly. I mean, Captain Britain at some point would be super cool, but I think the way to do it is to incorporate like Peggy or someone. Do you know what I mean? I think just the shorthand. Unless they are going to turn around and be like, do you know what? Fuck it. Phase 5, we're going deep into the X-Men. We're bringing in Brian Braddock. We're going to do it. Yeah. Why not? Like, if that's the case, Yes, because it'd also mean Phase 5 has a different flavour. If it's not all set in
Phase
America, then it would have a different flavour too. Which I'm all for. Oh shit, could you imagine if Phase 5 gave us like Alpha Flight? We just started going to different countries and focusing on different countries and cultures.
Flight.
Jesus Christ. Alf! Alf confirmed for Phase 5.
Alf in Pog form.
The Alf movie.
This one comes in from James.
He's going to go over to the West Coast Avengers and eat Cheetah.
Greetings, big damn babes in arms.
Hey, how you doing? Who's this from?
James.
James up in flames!
As well as in the land of Nod, or in other words, is all well in the land of Nod, I should say. I can't read.
Yeah.
Or in other words, the Greater Manchester area.
Is this the land of Nod?
Probably. When I wrote in about Loki, I believe I forgot to mention the amazing score by the spectacular Natalie Holt.
Oh, Natalie and them synths did some beautiful work.
Known in the music scene as the composer for the film adaptation of the play Journey's End, and as that one person...
Really?
And
I
as
did not
that
know
one
that.
person who egged Simon Cowell.
Oh! Oh shit! Okay, my respect has just tripled.
I hope she's back for the second season and that she's not just replaced as the director Kate Herron isn't coming back.
I hope that's because of a scheduling conflict and not because of just changing it up. Then again, maybe she was a horrible person and they just didn't want to work with her again.
I also
hope she's not.
Be interested in hearing what she would do for another character in a motion picture, perhaps. Yes, also true. As Chris brought up last week, the Gaius Greaves iteration of the Thinker was created specifically for the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I'd confirmed by James Gunn last night's the Suicide Squad watch along where he said someone said like
version of inspiration.
It's based on the New 52 one with no name. Like, where did Gaius Greaves come from? And he just says he just sort of looked like a Gaius Greaves.
Yeah, all right.
It's like fair enough.
Sure, it's a very comic booky name. I like it.
It is.
Yankee
Doodle fucking dandy.
Yeah.
I can change, Splat.
I'm ready to change. Yes, into jam. This makes me ask the question: have you boys seen other instances where, for some reason, a completely new alter ego has been made for a familiar character when in the process of adaptation? Ratcatcher 2
and
completely new
Ratcatcher 1 as well in that film.
Completely new version of Ratcatcher. Ratcatcher 2 was made from whole cloth for the Suicide Squad and is one of the highlights. She's just fabulous.
Like, Cleo something her name is. She doesn't exist in any other iteration.
Played by
Danielle. Quick, say the name.
Melchior.
I did that all by myself. Hey, Chris, remember to edit out the bit where Matt tells you the surname. Or leave it in for her hilarious aside. Comedy on the commute.
Hijinks.
Yeah, and also Ratcatcher 1 in that film too.
Yeah.
Because he's not Otis Flanagan. He's not a Gotham criminal who's an arsehole. He's a nice man who it seems that they're stealing basically to live.
He's Otis Portugal.
Good God. But yeah, so that's one. A lot of Iron Man's villains in the MCU are hybrids of the characters. So Obadiah Stane is sort of a mix of Obadiah Stane, comic book Justin Hammer.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's another version of the Ironmonger that they're kind of basing it on a little bit.
Maybe?
Ezekiel, yeah, it could be.
He's not really Ironmonger, but you get what
Whiplash is Whiplash and the Crimson Dynamo.
Yeah.
Who gets a name check in Black Widow, which makes me think, hang on. Has there been a Crimson Dynamo?
Probably.
What the fuck? So, he's a hybrid. Obviously, Aldrich Killian and Trevor Slattery and their storylines aren't the Mandarin and Aldrich Killian. It's like a hybrid of all the ideas around those characters. So there's definitely versions of that in the... I mean, Ghost in Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's a completely original take on Ghost.
And he's really interesting and good.
Although, as much as I love it, I'm like, yeah, but I really like how fucking genuinely unnerving and sleazy Ghost is in the comics.
Yeah,
so I would love to see that version at some point.
But again,
I could always just pick up a comic book and read it.
But also, if they want to do another version of Ghost, they can do another version of Ghost.
That's true.
So it's not an all.
Not a done deal. Yeah. So yeah, they do it. They do it all the time. I mean, fuck the Joker in Dark Knight. There's like a massive example. That is a huge reinterpretation that works because the soul of it is the same.
The Joker in Suicide Squad.
No, I just think that's a shit version of the source material.
Carrying on with the email.
You're trying to disown it. Yeah. Got you. Okay, yeah.
What if it's great? Shang-Chi on Friday. I hope I'm saying that right now. Truly, we live in a golden age.
I've now seen from like multiple YouTube videos of correspondence. We're not the only ones who've been mispronouncing it. We're all changing it.
By the way, we'll get it right for sure after we've seen the film and heard it multiple times.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, you can apologise to him right now. Here's the action figure from the comics. You can apologise to him.
Look at that Shang.
That's furious, isn't it?
That is wonderful.
Fuming. He's got a big old bandana coming off of his head.
Yeah.
He's got like several pairs of hands in different stances, which is pretty cool.
I like it.
It's a good toy. He's on my Spidey shelf because, like, obviously he plays a big part of the Dan Slott era.
Are you going to get the new one and have an Aquafina for him as well?
It's on my Amazon wishlist if anyone wants to fucking buy it for me because I'm skint right now. So, well, I will. I'm not skint. I'm just going to spend the only spending money I have on a Marvel Unlimited subscription. So.
By the way, boys, Idris Elba is my Sonic OC. Please do not steal. Lastly, boys, a few months ago you mentioned a format change. I don't seem to remember any reference to it since, and I haven't noticed anything different. What's going on? I hope you meat men have a good giggle all week. From the actual angel splooshing on the Suicide Squad, I mean James.
The format change was sort of an attempt to keep the episodes to a certain length.
And it didn't work.
It was still kind of in it, I guess. Like,
maybe.
Keep in mind, we got to a period where every episode was 2 hour plus.
Yeah.
And we're kind of at a stretch now where the average is 1 hour 8 to 1 hour 20 minutes.
Which I think is where we're trying to get.
Yeah.
Like, we're currently at 120, we've got one more email.
Plus, we don't structure the episodes the way we used to do, which was like a regimented, we're going to hit this story, time codes, things like that. We now kind of keep it loose.
Yeah.
Some weeks we talk about the news, and some weeks we talk about just a topic we think could be interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes we appease the algorithm. Sometimes we say, "Fuck it." Do you want
sometimes...
to talk about fucking movies we've outgrown? Let's talk about that.
In the world we live in, nothing is certain.
Yeah.
But it is certain that this is the last email of this week, and it comes in from Jack, and Jack says, "Hello,
Jack, cracking his back."
Is he though?
Yeah, just your posture.
Okay.
Stretch back. We're both sat on office and computer chairs, and neither of us are sitting on them properly.
Hello.
So we could take a lesson from Jack.
No, I'm just lounging. Hello, my big boys.
Oh, no damn, just big.
A few Doctor Who based things for today.
I've just realised how saucy that is. Hello, my big boys.
Yeah,
well.
There's a little bit of sauce.
Well.
Firstly.
A little bit of sauce. Can't say that.
Firstly, do you think there is a divide between fans of classic and new Who and people who just like the show as a whole? Luckily,
yes.
I grew up... We'll do the whole email, then we'll answer all the questions. Luckily, I grew up with both classic and new Doctor Who thanks to my subscription to the Doctor Who DVD files, but due to this, I don't know if there's a divide between classic and new Who on the fandom. Would you like to have seen more of the Paradigm Daleks? Could you see them being used again in the future? With the review of Deathback, I was curious to ask you boys about other Doctor Who-related content you watch/recommend.
Oh my God.
I want a release date for Series 13 so bad, and with that I bid thee goodbye. Is the curry sauce all over Uranus? Delish! Jack H. Right,
Jack, thanks, Jack. God, there's a lot of questions.
One by one. I read them very quickly.
Oh.
So, yes, there is a divide between people who like the new series and the old series.
It's not set in stone, but there are people who are like, no, it's not been as good as when I was a child, or that old stuff's a load of bullshit.
I remember my dad had a conversation with someone in a charity shop once. Like the old guy in the tunnel was like, he always preferred old Doctor Who. It wasn't as political as it is now. I was like... I left the shop and I said to Dad, you know that it's always been political, right? And he was like, yeah, but sometimes it's just easier not to argue. And I was like, okay.
Well done, Paul.
Yeah, well done. So
just like, look, we've got stuff to do.
The famously apolitical Doctor Who. I've just watched The Enemy of the World, for fuck's sake. It's pretty fucking political.
Oh, do you know what? Have you ever watched the Silurians? It's great. The Doctor just like shouts at some lizards and then they blow them up, and that's all it's about.
All that happens. That's literally all it's about.
You ever seen Inferno? It's just people wearing like eye patches.
Yeah,
it's fucking great.
Definitely nothing about fascism.
Hey, have you seen The Sunmakers?
I haven't seen The Sunmakers actually.
Oh. Just you fucking wait.
Oh, I can't wait.
You're going to have an amazing time.
Okay.
Would I have liked to have seen more of the Paradigm Daleks? We've covered this many times. Yes!
Absolutely. There's a reason why the boys are on my shelf and they're never taken off.
I love the big bastards.
I think they're beautiful, and I think it sucks that they chickened out.
And we're never going to see them again because someone else is going to want to come along and put their stamp on the Dalek design. And
yeah, like now it's the bronze ones, but they don't have suckers anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, right. That's kind of boring.
And then we did the other, like the human.
I love the bronze one. I love them. I think they are the definitive design for me. But you got to change it up. Yeah, the human-made ones are like, okay.
I think they're pretty neat.
Yeah. And they've made the props now, so they'll find a way to use them again. I like the sort of
thinner profile of them.
Yeah.
Makes them a bit sleeker.
But that'll be one of the reasons why they won't keep them around, because they will cost more to run. Because they are, for the most part,
RC.
Yeah. They're operated by a team of puppeteers instead of a dude.
A dude with a pedal.
Yeah. Which worked great for the reconnaissance one in Resolution. Because it was really creepy and unnerving to see this really skinny one just like... Yeah, it was like, ooh, that's freaky. Yeah.
Freaky dicky.
Freaky dicky Dutch.
So, with the review of Death Back, other Doctor Who related content we watch/recommend. I don't watch anything else to do with Doctor Who, and I don't recommend it or Doctor Who. I think you should just leave it to die on the vine. No.
Friend of the show, Mr. TARDIS. You should check out Will's content. It's very good. Review of Death's pretty great, actually. It always has been, but what Billy and Matthew have done with the reformat is quite nice.
Should be the review of Fatal Death, really, but hey.
Hey, they could do a special.
Who's to gripe? I don't really engage with much Doctor Who related content, mainly because...
It's frustrating sometimes.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
I've been watching Chris's reviews of the seasons as I've been going along through my BritBox, but that's just mainly so I can see two of my mates talk about a show I like after I've just watched the season.
Wait, you mean Doctor Who Review, the series on the YouTube channel Official CDJ, of which there is now episodes covering up until, as far as this broadcast of this podcast, the mid-Tennant era.
Whereas I'm currently finishing up Patrick's second season, so that's where I am.
There's your fiver.
No, thanks. I can't fucking spend it anywhere else taking contacts.
Oh, yeah. I've got to take cash out today.
Why?
I have to take cash out today because my debit card expires... was it 31st today? Expires tomorrow, and I've still not received the replacement. But according to my online banking, when I went to cancel, like when I went to organise a send out, it said, which one do you want to cancel? And there's two, which means the replacement has been designated and sent out, but I've still not received it. So Brexit, I've got to take some cash out because I'm in Leeds for 2 days at the end of this week, and I'll need to be able to buy food. So, yay! Brexit.
Terrible.
Hello,
Dolly.
My cat Dolly just arrived. Matt's not just remembering films he likes.
Bye, Dolly.
Or dreaming up sequels.
I don't particularly like Hello, Dolly. But that's neither here nor there. Hither nor thither, in fact.
We're neither here either.
No, we're about to be thither.
We're gonna fuck right off, son.
If you want to catch us, close the show or anything?
No, I just don't think we should bother.
You know where to find us at Big Damn Cast, bigdamncontent@gmail.com, twitch.tv/bigdamnstream, and of course patreon.com/bigdamncast. I'm just gonna go now.
I'm gonna twiddle my thumbs.
I'm gonna twiddle my thumbs. They're mine to twiddle.
Love a good twiddle.